I first met her when she was my student on the Legislative Gazette. And frankly, there wouldn't be a Legislative Gazette if it wasn't for Ann Erickson, because the powers that be in the legislature tried to close it down. They didn't like it. They didn't want a bunch of students running a newspaper about the legislature. And Ann Erickson saved the project because we were told to go home. She went to the New York Times and to the Associated Press, and all of a sudden it changed like that. So Ann Erickson saved it. The second thing she did is that there was no money for it, and she was working at the Lark Tavern on Madison Avenue, and she had a special fundraiser. In came a woman named Olga Mendez, who Ann had recruited, and then a guy came in and he sat at the bar. He was the president of the Senate, and that made him the lieutenant governor, and the lieutenant governor, of course, was Mario Cuomo. And about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, into the place came none other than Warren Anderson, Stanley Fink, Manfred Orenstein. They all came in. I think, frankly, Ann shamed them all into it. I asked Cuomo years ago, why did you do that? And he said, quote, I did it for the girl, and that girl was Ann Erickson.
In the early days of the disability advocacy program, it was more challenging to get funding and to keep funding and to see our funding grow. Ann was really a tireless advocate for DAP. I always felt very confident that when she was going down to the legislature to make the case for why DAP needed to continue, why we needed more money, why the program was so important to New York State, that she was going to get that message across. And so because of her efforts, I think many of the programs, most of the programs, all of the programs in New York that provide civil legal services owe her a great debt and a great thank you. All of us do.
I had been in her classes through the Center for Women in Government. I had seen that a job opened up working for Ann. I had a feeling that if I took the position working with Ann, that I would have an opportunity to really experience some new things working in legal services and to learn from someone that I really admired, and it turned out to be one of the best decisions that I ever made. Without Ann as an advocate in New York State, I really firmly believe that we would not be as far along as we are right now. New York is the leading state in the nation in terms of providing funding for access to justice, and Ann was instrumental in making that happen.
Nobody messes with Empire Justice. That is a good thing. They don't mess with them because they know they're right and they know they've got their facts. And lots of people running around the legislature are right. And lots of people running around the legislature believe they're right. But to be right and have the facts and being working for poor people, it's a pretty interesting voice and a very distinctive one. From me to Ann, there's friendship, there's love, but there's also a thank you. She really has done the day-to-day caring work for an enormous length of time and has done it without fail. And if she was tired, it didn't show. And if she was grumpy, it didn't show. This is good work.
I am the sixth of 15 kids, born to Henry and Doris Erickson. We grew up in Massapequa Park. There was no, boys do this and girls do that. It was sort of everybody had to get everything done. It was just a wonderful, wonderful way to grow up. And I think it has served me really well over the years because I can deal with a lot of different people coming at you with a lot of different things. Empire Justice is all about changing the systems under which poor people live and trying to improve them. And by doing that, by training, by engaging in policy, by doing the legal work, we like to say we teach, we practice, we improve. And we work in that circle constantly. Former Chief Judge Jonathan Lippman says it beautifully. It's the essentials of life. The roof over someone's head, the food on their table, the health care for themselves and their kids. These are essential issues that you may have the right to some of those services and protections, but if you don't have a lawyer there to enforce those rights or help you assert those rights, you don't have them. been just an incredible honor to be where I am and to have been given the opportunities that I've been given to do what I've been able to do. Working with the legislature was also a real honor. There are a lot of hard-working people in the legislature, and they do not get the credit they deserve as either elected representatives or staff that just are there for all the right reasons, and that's been great to know. I started night school a couple of years ago. I went to school for 2 years, 3 nights a week. One Saturday a month, I would do clinical work and sat for a 3-hour state board exam. And I have become a licensed massage therapist. And I absolutely love it. It is giving back in a very different way. I've heard the new term, seenager. So a teenager, but at a more senior point in life where you sort of, instead of, sleeping on people's couches and couch surfing, I can actually afford hotels and travel and do wonderful things. So I am looking forward to that. So yeah, there's a lot to come yet. There's a lot to come yet.